Okay guys, for this you'll need a piece of paper and a pencil and a ruler as well. Okay, so I'm going to start off by putting the ruler on the center area of my page, and I'm marking it at the 5-inch mark and at the 0 because I'm going to have a width of a head that is 5 inches across. And the reason for that is because the head is the same as the width of 5 eyes across. Okay, so I'm also drawing in my head shape, and remember that the head is more of kind of like an oval mixed with an egg shape, and it tapers inward down towards the bottom. So I've kind of put in a chin there. We are working with somebody right now that is bald. They don't have any hair on their head just yet, and that is why sometimes it can make the head look a little bit longer, especially once we put the eyes in. I am marking the head, dividing it up into half, tall ways and short ways as well, and I am putting my 1-inch tick marks in on that midline going horizontally, because that is where my eyes will go. Okay, my eyes will go at the 1 to 2 inch mark, as well as the 3 to 4 inch mark. Okay, so the inner corner of each side touches those mark points. And for right now, I'm just putting in a rough sketch of the eyes. I'm not paying too much attention to a lot of detail right now. This is just a very basic, very general, average guideline on the measurements for this. Okay, so the eyebrows will come up about half of the width of the eye. So in this case, the width of our eye is 1 inch. Our eyebrows are going to come up about half an inch from that top of that eye. Now once again, I'm just roughly sketching that in to mark where that will be. I'm going to worry about refining the shape of everything later. Okay, right now I'm just going in and adding in some of my pupils and just marking where that will be, because I need to know where my pupils are located so that I can get the edges of my mouth. Okay, the nose comes down about 1.5 inches, which is 1 eye and a half width downwards. And the edges of my nose meets to the corners of my eye, the inner corner. Okay, and it's up to you the shape of the nose that you'd like to have. I just kind of put in a general shape right there. And coming from my eyes in those inner corners, those are guidelines that will be erased eventually. Okay, so my top of my lip comes about half of an eye width down, and then the whole lip itself, the height of it is about half an eye as well. So I'm marking that in there, and the top of the lip is 1/3 of the shape of the mouth. And notice that I've lined up the edges of my lips with the pupils as well, and I've put a guideline in there. Okay, I'm now erasing my guidelines just to kind of clean it up as I work around the page. And now I'm going to put my ears in. The top of the ears line up with the eyes, and the bottom of the ear lines up with the bottom edge of the nose. Remember to put your shape in of the earlobe, and notice that you don't see the whole ear. Some of it will not be seen, so nobody's ear sticks out super far, so keep that in mind when you're drawing the shape of the ear. Okay, now I'm adding in a hairline, and at this point I am just cleaning up some of it and just making you aware that it does take a lot of time to add in those details. This is a 5 to 10 minute sketch. Hyper realistic portraits can take up to or more 8 hours on an 8x10 page. It just depends on the amount of values you put in. So once again, this is a 5 to 10 inch sketch. If you want something more detailed, more elaborate, all of that needs to get broken down into parts for a more advanced level, such as drawing the actual shape of the eyes and all the details that correspond with those. Okay, so also, you notice that you do need a neck, and that neck comes in from behind your ears. You want your shoulders put in there, and the shape of the hair, the eyes, head, all of that is really dependent on the person and that can change with whatever you've got. Okay. So on this part, I'm cleaning up my drawing and I'm adding in different defined lines and shapes just to clean it up some. That way it's not left to be too much of an entirely rough sketch. Notice as I work through this video, I do go back and forth between different parts. I realize on certain sections that this part here bothers me. I'm going to go over here and rework that area. Right now, I'm reworking the eye area and defining the shapes and redefining some of those edges. And I'm also adding in new values to the eyes and things like that. Adding in some lower lashes, adding in the area in the inner corner of my eye. And then after cleaning it up, you see that it's got more defined lines and everything like that. But this is a 5 to 10 minute sketch. This is a very quick guide on how to place your eyes, the placement of the nose and placement of the lips. In terms of shading values with a light source, that is a different skill set that we will learn at a later time. And I hope that this video helped you learning the very, very basic proportions of the human face as defined by numerous different art textbooks, etc. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.